Ka-ching! Kia ora whānau, ko ama aho. I'm going to share with you, first time ever, my secret family recipe. Ama's yum and easy New Zealand Christmas, New Year's, birthday parties, oven hangi. Now this recipe has been passed down 3 generations, from my mum, to me, and now to you. These are the ingredients we'll need. Tinfoil, a tinfoil pan or roasting dish, butter, pepper, salt, mixed herbs, doTERRA, thyme, pumpkin, onions, cabbage, potatoes, bread, carrots, apples, kumara or sweet potato, and any meat that you have on hand. We had some selections of pork, lamb, and also chicken thighs. You will also need a food processor, and all the measurements are dependent on how many people you have in your family or how many people you are feeding. We have our portions for 4 people over the course of 5 days. You can use any meat really. We don't usually eat red meat, but you can basically use any meat you have on hand. Like we used bacon scraps once after we made a boil up. We had some left over. Now, for a time, you can listen to one of our new songs in the background called Lavender, as I am just going to be chopping the meats and vegetables smaller. 1, to cook faster and thorough, and 2, so that, as my mom says, so everyone gets the same size portions of meat mainly, otherwise we will fight over the biggest pieces. Yup, that is so true. Ka-ching! Ka-ching! The main secret to this best hangi ever is all the meat has to go to the bottom of the tray so that it can turn out so succulent the meat just falls off the bone. We don't eat much meat at all, so we kind of do a lot of stuffings and just vegetables really. Ka-ching! 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 We halve the onions to take them out of the hangi after it is cooked. We put the onions in for flavor, but we don't eat them personally. But hey aha, this is Māori for it is up to you. Hey aha. You can season with salt and pepper if you like, or use any other seasoning of your choice. Hey aha, it is up to you. Now, at any time while placing the meat and vegetables in your roasting dish or tinfoil pan, you need to add water, about 1 cup, so that the steam will cook your hangi. However, if you have frozen meat, then you will need to account for the water that melts from the meat. Now, we strategically place the vegetables, especially the pumpkin, kumara, and potatoes, to avoid their sharp corners piercing holes through the tinfoil. Ka-ching! One of the secret ingredients for flavor is cabbage. We use the cabbage, especially in ground hangis, to avoid burning it. Ka-ching! We again strategically place the cabbage leaves over the hangi by closing up all the gaps. This acts as an insulation for the cooking of the hangi. We bake the oven hangi at 250 degrees Celsius, or about 480 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I messed up here. On top of the hangi, before we wrapped the whole thing, I was meant to put on top of the hangi the stuffing, which will keep the stuffing more moist and flavoursome. So remember when you try making this yourself. But here, we really need to wrap the whole hangi in tin foil. It keeps everything together and keeps the steam cooking the hangi, so wrap it well. Also, you will probably need 2 more hands to help with wrapping the whole hangi, so I asked my little brother to come and help me. Now, for our yummy stuffing. You can do this by hand, but for efficiency, I use a food processor. It is much easier. The portions for this whole hangi is always up to you. Hey aha! Our whānau or family loves stuffing, so we make heaps, or lots. For our delicious hangi, if you're in New Zealand, you can just go to your local store here and purchase what's called mixed herbs, already made with the perfect portions of just only 3 ingredients really. Sage, marjoram, and a little thyme. Plus 2 secret ingredients that my mum was taught by her mum, and now from me to you. So here it is whānau, our 2 secret ingredients for the stuffing which complements the whole hangi are apples and or carrots. We used both. Now, here we can add 6 drops of marjoram doTERRA oil and thyme doTERRA oil, which you can find on our website www.mydoterra.com/JDBeige or you can use mixed herbs already made up, or use the 3 ingredients separately. Also, we love onions in our stuffing, so we added these too. You can add any other seasonings of your choice. My baby brother is adding more salt and pepper, but again, everything is to your taste. He aha. Looks too good to be true, but I gotta tell ya, it's true. Very flavoursome. As my mum always says, as her dad would always say, tēnā reka, which means very sweet in te reo Māori. Now, you may need 2 people for this part to wrap up the stuffing, so again, I asked my little brother to come and help me. We found that if we make the stuffing in long wraps, as you can see, it is easier to place them in the hangi. Sorry, not on top as we are doing here. As I explained earlier, my mistake. Aroha mai. This is sorry in te reo Māori. Because I put too many veggies in, I now need to press down the stuffing so that it can fit into the oven. Aroha mai. For my first time by myself. I think I did pretty well. But yeah, remember to put the stuffing in the hangi, not on top. And remember, all the hangi wrap must be able to fit in your oven. Once again, we do not usually press the stuffing down this much, but I forgot we had to fit it all in the oven. Woohoo! We are done. Remembering you can do this at any time, for lunch, dinner, or even breakfast. This is what we did on Christmas Eve. We prepped it, then cooked it for 3 hours, turned everything off, and opened it for our morning Christmas hangi. Another secret is that over the course of 5 days after you have cooked this scrumptious, or as we say in Māori, whakahihi, hangi, if you store the hangi correctly, in airtight containers in the fridge, you can have, well in mine, my mum, and my mum's dad's opinion, and the best way to have a hangi is to butter fry up, or in Māori, paraihia te pata, the next morning, or subsequent mornings.
Ka-ching!
And wow, that was the best Christmas breakfast ever. Tēnā reka, until next time, ka kite.